this monster is still alive.
What? No way.
Yes, there is a very high possibility. This episode is pure conspiracy theory, yo. But I'm gonna provide you with real-world evidence to point out the most ridiculously weird parts of the entire Epstein saga. This will be the best criminal spy fugitive PDF thriller ever.
Drama, my favorite.
So, 准备你的爆米花, because after this episode, you will believe that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. 大起大雕. Now, I've said this before, but I gotta say it again. I will never self-delete. I love myself, I love my family, I love my mom, I have a healthy body, and I will not die by a heart attack. But maybe by earthquake or get hit by a scooter, because after all, we are in Taiwan. A lot of people in Taiwan do not know that Epstein actually tried to self-delete twice. Allegedly. If you want to know how Epstein is still alive, then you must know about the first self-deletion attempt.
Sure. 18 days before Jeffrey Epstein actually died, corrections officers rushed to his cell in the middle of the night. They found him lying in the fetal position, what's described as sort of a homemade. He was alive, his eyes were opening and closing, but he was non-responsive. He wouldn't tell them what had happened or what had occurred to get him on the floor until they carried him out of the cell on a stretcher. And soon after he sat up, some of the first words he said were to say that he believed his cellmate had tried to kill him. And like you said, that was a statement that eventually he sort of walked back. He never admitted to trying to commit suicide. He sort of just said, I wouldn't do that. I don't remember what would happen. And his cellmate at the time, a man named Nicholas Tartaglione, has long denied any responsibility for it, has said in fact that he tried to and may have saved Epstein's life at the time. But it left this sort of muddied narrative for a story that eventually authorities would kind of say was one of their underpinnings in very quickly determining that Epstein, in fact, himself 18 days later.
But the weird thing is, Epstein claimed the cellmate tried to attack him. So I did some digging, and what you're looking at is his cellmate, a former cop who straight up looks like Bane from the Batman series. And you want to know why he's in prison? For strangling niggas to death.
That's crazy, man.
Now, if you look at this through your conspiracy lens, and if you believe what Epstein said about the attack, then I think this was actually the first attempt at assassinating Jeffrey Epstein, because there were a lot of people who wanted him dead. You also need to know one other person, Michael Thomas. He is the prison guard who actually discovered Epstein post-assassination / self-deletion attempt. So he basically saved Epstein's life.
According to the indictment, Thomas was one of the officers who responded to Epstein's first reported suicide attempt on July 23rd. After the incident, Epstein was moved to a room where he was placed on suicide watch and closely monitored for the next 31 hours. Another corrections officer assigned to watch over Epstein in the hours following the July 23rd incident was Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Remember this guy's name because he is very important. Anyway, so after the first attempt, they moved Epstein to a solitary jail cell for a self-deletion watch for 11 days. And during this 11 days, Michael Thomas was responsible for checking on him, talking to him, and writing everything that he observed of Jeffrey Epstein down every 15 minutes.
Epstein performed a final financial magic trick, transferring his $577 million fortune into a secretive entity called the 1953 Trust, a shrewd move designed to shield any beneficiaries from prying public eyes. The late sex offender's trust agreement, which has not been made public before, details how more than $250 million, plus his sundry properties across the globe, would be doled out to at least 44 beneficiaries when he died.
Now, after he was kicked from a solo cell and ended up transferring his money to 44 different people. I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds weird as fuck. Because what happened next just might explain exactly why he made those 44 bank transfers.
Some breaking news right now. Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life while he was behind bars here in New York City.
So 2 days after he made a few phone calls and transferred all of his money, this man self-deleted. Allegedly. And the one person who was on self-deletion duty when Epstein self-deleted himself is the same guy who found him during his first assassination / self-deletion attempt.
The two Bureau of Prisons workers tasked with guarding Jeffrey Epstein the night that he killed himself in a New York jail have admitted that they falsified records. Michael Thomas were accused of sleeping and browsing the internet instead of monitoring Epstein the night that he took his own life in August 2019. They were charged with lying on prison records to make it seem as though they had made required checks on Epstein before he was found in his cell on August 10th.
等一下，让我理解清楚哦。 So you're telling me that Michael Thomas, the guy who saved Jeffrey Epstein during the first assassination/deletion attempt, who also was the guy in charge of his 11-day solo self-deletion watch to check on him every 15 minutes, and was also the guy who, when Epstein somehow found a way to actually self-delete, this guy was playing video games and shopping online, is also the guy who found Epstein in his cell post self-deletion and forged the prison logs?
What you mean? What you mean what?
And you know what? In the end, Michael Thomas was never charged for any of it. In fact, a few moments later, he actually got another job at another prison as a material supervisor. This nigga actually sanjile. And right now, no one even knows where he is. This is the most lazy soap opera drama plot you could ever think of. So to me, the way I see it, Michael Thomas was just one of many of Jeffrey Epstein's accomplices for faking his death. Now, like I said before, Michael Thomas is not the only one who helped Epstein. A lot of people noticed that parts of Epstein's corpse from his nose to his ears seemed very different from when he was alive. Now, I can't show it to you for monetization reasons, but if you Google it, you're sure to find it. And I took a look, and the nose and ears looked really different to me, so I started digging. And then I found this.
Statement of Manhattan U.S. Attorney on the death of defendant Jeffrey Epstein. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman said, earlier this morning, the Manhattan Correctional Center confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein, who faced charges brought by this office of engaging in trafficking of minors, had been found unresponsive in his cell and pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Today's events are disturbing, and we are deeply aware of their potential to present yet another hurdle to giving Epstein's many victims their day in court. To those brave young women who have already come forward, and to the many others who have yet to do so, let me reiterate that we remain committed to standing for you, and our investigation of the conduct charged in the indictment, which included a conspiracy count, remains ongoing. We continue to urge anyone who feels they may be a victim or have information related to the conduct in this case to please contact 1-800-CALL-FBI.
And yet another Hayden Wunhao moment. This announcement that you are looking at right here was written by the New York Southern District Attorney by the name of Berman, and it was found just a few days ago in the Epstein files. And do you see the date? It's written as August 9th. But here's the thing. Epstein died on August the 10th. So how in the hell did Berman know that Epstein was gonna die?
Nigga, I don't really know,
And this isn't even the most crazy part. The U.S. Attorney Berman was later fired over the Epstein investigation. And the guy who ordered his firing and took his place, Bill Barr. That name sounds familiar.
That he, went to the Dalton School, which I think some people that looked into the case, after his second arrest are probably familiar with, because the man that hired him there, who is the headmaster of Dalton at the time, was William Barr's father, Donald Barr. And
Bill Barr, as in the former...
the two-time Attorney General. Yes, correct. And his father was a former... a veteran of the Office of Strategic Services, which is a precursor to the CIA.
Jesus. So, the son of the guy who hired Epstein all those years ago has known Epstein for a very long time, and now he's in charge of investigating Epstein's sudden self-deletion. And after he reviewed all the footage in the prison and all of the files, he said,
nothing special, nothing to see here, open and shut case.
And after Bill closed that case, the state dropped all charges against Michael Thomas. I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds like a straight-up inside operation, yo.
According to interview notes contained in a massive document release, staff at the Metropolitan Correctional Center allegedly staged a decoy scene the night Jeffrey Epstein's body was removed. The documents claim that because of an overwhelming media presence outside the jail, officers devised what one supervisor reportedly described as a plan to thwart reporters. The files state that boxes and sheets were arranged to resemble a human body, placed into a white vehicle marked as belonging to the office of the chief medical examiner, and driven out of the prison, with journalists following close behind. Meanwhile, according to those same notes, Epstein's actual body was allegedly transported in a separate black vehicle that departed unnoticed. If true, it would mean the world's media followed a decoy.
So, you paid a prison guard to cover for you, an AG to cover your ass to say nothing to see here, and now you've got a decoy body and an unregistered vehicle for transport leaving the prison? Am I the only one here who's crazy enough to say that this sounds like a fake prison break?
You're goddamn right.
So, everything you have heard up until this point is exactly what really happened. Only my Haltita conclusion of it being a prison break is conspiracy theory. The rest, 100% real. And here's the thing, the Epstein case has so many real points that are sus as fuck, but it doesn't end here.
Epstein's FORTNITE account is active in Israel? No. FORTNITE tracker, all right, gentlemen, we have the FORTNITE account right now. Let's pull it up. The profile has just been made private. Okay, so this is why people think that it's Jeffrey Epstein. He got a charge for $25 for V-Bucks on Fortnite. And this was on May 7th, 2019. And this is, again, keep in mind, justice.gov. This is the government website for Jeffrey Epstein right here. And this is Littlest Jeff with jeevacation@gmail.com. My guy faked his death and immediately started playing Fortnite. Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 10 ran from August 1st to October 2019. He's in Tel Aviv playing Fortnite. This is Epstein, isn't it? Dude, who is this guy?
Now, although Epic Games came out and claimed,
"Oh, it was some user who changed his name for a prank. It's nothing to do with Epstein, so everybody, chill. Nothing to see here, nothing sus. Okay, thanks, bye."
Some fuckery's going on.
And at the beginning, I kind of wanted to believe what they said. And then I actually went and checked the Internet Archive itself. And it seemed like nothing to see, nothing sus here, just like they said. It seems like normal Fortnite player history. An average win rate, nothing special, nothing sus. I almost bought what Epic said until my nigga math skills kicked in and I started to calculate the matches and the time played. And then I wondered, what was the average play time for each match? And what I found will completely blow your mind.
Hold on to your butts.
Now let's look at the bottom, right here, Chapter 1, Season 3. He played 1,139 matches, and his time played 10 hours and 12 minutes. That means every match he played lasted a total of 32 seconds. Hanchikwae. This ain't normal playtime at all. And when you look at Season 4, he played 682 matches with time played at 11 hours and 22 minutes, which exactly equals 682 minutes. And Season 5 is 30 hours and 40 minutes, or 794 minutes. And in that same season, he played 794 matches. And the same thing in Season 6. 8 hours and 9 minutes of played time, or 489 minutes. And the total matches, 489. In these 3 seasons, every match is exactly 1 minute in length. So, if you play Fortnite or any PUBG type game, then you already know what this means. That this player didn't play at all. He just let the character sit there and die. The weird part is, for these 3 seasons, he actually won several matches. In Fortnite, that basically means you are in what's called observer mode. You don't leave the game after your character dies. So this is the weirdest part for this player. What in the hell was he doing in the game for the entire season?
Nigga, I don't really know,
Now, I play PUBG, but I've never played Fortnite, so I'm guessing there is a possibility that maybe he used the character as an ad bot. But here's the thing, ad bots usually leave after the character dies. The bot doesn't stay in observer mode. So that made me wonder again, what in the hell is going on here? And then I remember that scene from that show.
Okay, that's the last game he played. You're online now.
Now in the game, Fortnite, there is what's known as a team-up feature, where you can play with your friends and share in-game voice chat called Party Channel. And after your character dies in the game, if you don't leave, you can actually continue using the Party Channel to communicate with your friend or friends, and no one else can hear what you 2 or 3 or 4 are talking about. So I'm guessing whoever owned this account used Fortnite for covert comms, but definitely not for playing games. This is absolutely the perfect tool for a spy. I mean, after all, it isn't a TV show, and sometimes art imitates life, right?
Nigga, I don't really know,
And the player's history runs from Chapter 1, Season 3 to Chapter 1, Season 6, which ran from February 2018 to December 2018. And during that time, Epstein had not been arrested yet. And the most sus part is if the player actually did change his name as a prank, then why in the fuck would he need to private his account? There's absolutely zero personal info displayed on that profile. Nothing at all. No email address, no contact details. So other than his game saps, what else could he be wanting to hide? And the thing crazier than that is that the player's most recent activity was in the country of Israel. And everyone knows by now that this PDF nigga is a Mossad agent. And Mossad HQ is right in the heart of Israel.
That nigga is guilty!
So, my conclusion, Epstein bought a couple of prison guards, the AG, the decoy body he used, Mossad's resources, all to fake his death and go back to Israel and hide out. And maybe he just got bored as fuck or something, because he can't go outside without being recognized, he can't even use a regular phone because of voice recognition, so he decided to turn back to Fortnite as his covert comms. And this goofy pedo nigga forgot to make his account private. Yes sir, a career-long Mossad agent spent hundreds of millions of dollars, schemed and plotted his own death to escape to a foreign country, only to fuck it all up by playing a goddamn video game.
Nigga, I don't really know. Like, I just dream, yeah.